So good morning. My name is Cass McCombs. I am a principal at Berkeley All-America High School. It's located in West Oakland. And when I went to the campus in the first year, I just saw that our students were having a lot of trouble. I was having a lot of trouble getting my students engaged in their classrooms, getting the teachers to feel engaged with each other and other students. And also in Berkeley, we were having a lot of issues with the community being engaged with the school. So I was looking for some kind of way to really ignite this sense of engagement, and I just, and this was my first day on campus. This was one of my instructors. I walked into his classroom, and this is what I saw.
Adams. Here. Adamley.
Here.
Adamowski. Adamson.
Here.
Adler.
Here.
Anderson. Anderson.
Here.
Bueller. Bueller. Bueller.
So
Bueller.
He's sick.
So we had to do something about that. We had to find where Bueller was and how to excite that teacher and his students. And so we found the Passion Playground. And Emily from the Passion Playground has really changed our campus environment entirely.
Well, thank you. I mean, I can't take credit. My name is Emily, and I am one of 12 co-founders and CEOs of passionplayground.edu.com.portal. And we are just thrilled to have an online space where, with a few short prompts, people can come and create a profile and share things that they are completely and totally passionate about, okay? And teachers, students alike, community members, and beyond can come to the Passion Playground and search for people who might share similar passions to theirs, or if they're really feeling just disconnected and out of it, they might find something that new to be passionate about. For instance, this woman would like to share her passion just momentarily.
We lost that woman's...
Oh, we did?
Yes, we did.
Oh, that's too bad.
I'll find it.
Okay, great. So we did, we have, yeah. Oh, there, here it is. Here it is. Great. So if you go to passionplayground.com.edu.portal, you might find a woman sharing something like this.
We're really excited about her because she is a beekeeper, and as a beekeeper, she shares about what she loves about bees, and it just so happened that one of our other teachers was a beekeeper as well. And once she got excited about that, and she went to the Passion Playground, we're just going to skip that if you don't mind. We went to the Passion Playground, we saw that there's a place for a curriculum that she could align to beekeeping and the like, and so she got really fired up. Her students were like, Miss So-and-so, she's kind of crazy, but it's a really exciting class.
And I believe you create a whole hive, and you want to bring up the other slides of the passion?
Yes.
So yeah, the hive, you created a hive at your school, and we just went out into our community and we found people that are passionate about a lot of things, and these are some of the things that they're passionate about. And pretty soon we're going to be inviting you to come and share your own stories. Like I said, Passion Playground, it does connect you to resources, to educational techniques, and also we're looking to create a volunteer aspect to it as well, so that people like this young lady who is this guy, filmmaking. If you want to know something about filmmaking, maybe he would be willing to donate some of his time either remotely or maybe, like the Hive, come right into your classroom and be a guest speaker. So we are Passion Playground. We're building a passionate community for a passionate world. Thank you.
The thing that interests me most in that, actually, I think the idea of walking around school with a sign that says what your passion is would be a really interesting lo-fi way of doing this. But really connecting students to this idea of passion and interest is an important thing, and to really see that in the community. I certainly care a lot about that and see that through the make. I think it's the fundamental thing we're trying to do, is say when people have a strong interest and a passion, they have a lot of knowledge behind that. They have a lot of they have a real desire to share that with other people, and they're very helpful. They're interested in connecting to other people with similar passions. And I think the big thing that we found in doing something like Maker Faire is it doesn't matter what the subject of the passion is, right? As long as you have passion, it actually allows you to meet other people, so the yoga and Scotch people can have a really nice conversation, even though they have ostensibly nothing in common.
So I thought this was so great. I mean, I love the idea that it's based on interests and not sort of expertise. Because I think what happens, there's actually a woman at one of the LA art museums who talks about the fact that once people become adults, they all of a sudden have decided that they cannot do art. Because they've decided that art is only for professionals. They go out and play sports as amateurs in their backyard, but somehow art is like, it's too intimidating. And so what I've always loved about that example, and well, let me also finish that by saying, so what she's doing is she has people sort of as a grown-up, dust off your clarinet that's probably in your closet, and they do lessons for adults to kind of bring them back to that world of the arts. And so I love the idea that it was all about what you're passionate about and what you're interested in, because being an expert or feeling like you have to be an expert in something is incredibly intimidating. Related to that, I think that what we hear so often from the Road Trip Nation students is after they've interviewed people, they'll say, oh, okay, I didn't have to know exactly what I wanted to do, and the stories that people usually tell are about what they're passionate about, what they're interested in. That drove them on these circuitous routes to their current careers. And so I think that this is just kind of building on all of those. And finally, I would say the thing that keeps kids in school usually is because they're interested. I loved your example of like, so-and-so's crazy, but her class is good. Yeah, I mean, that's a reality. The other couple things that I thought about are, this reminds me a lot of Meetup. Like, how do you do some version of this, which is kind of a meetup related to interest and passion, just within your school? I think that could be really interesting. And then I love Dale's idea about carrying around, maybe you're not carrying the big signs like that other group had, but even if you did little, the
Name
hello,
tags
my
or
name
something,
is,
yeah.
or like our name badges, what if you had on the back, I'd love to go to a conference actually that had that on the back, like, what's your passion? And meet up with the Scotch and the yoga people. But what if you started to ask people about that? I think it creates a different kind of conversation, and I think that it encourages kids to actually continue to be interested in what they're doing.
Yeah, and I think, you made a lot of good points.
I have a lot of passion.
But just this idea of, I think a lot of times expertise and experts get defined as sort of goals set by other people or standards. And I think this is interest-driven. It really means setting your own goals and determining what level. You can be a cook and you don't have to be a chef, right? Just cooking for yourself might be the goal. One of the things I've been fascinated, there's probably 5 times the number of marathon runners there was, 15 years ago. There's probably still the same number of elite marathon runners, right? But more people are participating in marathons and setting their goal. I mean, they're not trying to win the race. They're trying to improve on their last performance. And I think the DIY world is a lot like that, of just, and I think one of the challenges in interest-driven programs is how do you get that sense of progress, right? I think, say you're interested in something, then you don't do anything about it, you're not really progressing. But to have, your own goal setting, I want to finish a project, I want to do something, I want to share it with other people. So I think there might even be something in that in terms of being able to talk about what level of participation are you interested in? And again, what's cool too about what I see in the DIY space is there's lots of entry levels. You can get started doing stuff. If you think you like, making musical instruments or working with robots or something, there you can find a way to get started there. You don't have to start at the high end, the most complex level.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I love the name of this too, because it's a playground. Like, you actually were like, we expect you to come in, get bruised, fall off the, monkey bars or whatever, but to enjoy yourself and to have fun. And I think that is just one of the, I think, highlights of your work.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we didn't ask you any questions. We're not really that interested.
It
Sorry
was
about
stimulating, yeah. Now, one book reference, Stuart Brown's book on play is really fascinating. And, he talks about play histories. The book is somewhat characterized to rediscovering play as an adult. But I think there's something even in the idea of building a play history intentionally, not just thinking about what you had in the past. And I've kind of related that to the make community in kind of people I meet. I kind of ask, how did you get started making? What did you do first? And what kinds of things did you do at different ages? So there may be some things you could talk there. But let's ask a question quickly. I know we're a little bit over here, but how can you get this started? Any ideas?
We have all the mics.
Lisa has one there.
We could pretty quickly skin up a website and throw it on GitHub and free hosting on Heroku and all this stuff, and use YouTube as the hosting and see if it's something people like to play with.
But I also loved when you did the Flickr, where people just held, that would be a really interesting sort of little viral campaign to just ask people to post, what's your interest, and do it also within a school. I think it would be fantastic.
Yeah.
It's even easier.
Yeah, it's true, because I think there are lots of places on the internet where you can share your interests and things, and I think you need a kind of hook that makes it simple and is almost contagious, viral.
I was just going to say, that's great. When we launch, we'll ask all of you to upload a picture of yourself with your passion and post it to your Facebook, and then we'll all just go like that, launch it.
And it might even be interesting to do that through, pick a platform like that and see if you can't.
Integrate.
Don't require people to necessarily go and do something new in a new place. Find a way of kind of colonizing the space they're in.
Well, I think what's so fascinating about Facebook is think about how many times you're asked to like something,
Right.
and yet that really doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, beyond, I guess I could go to that page where all the people like that. But there has to be a more robust way to access who those people are and find out more about the projects they're working on, what we could do with that.
Even if it could dynamically change your profile a bit, that relates to your interests that you expressed on the profile.
I think everybody who has Facebook should post what you're passionate about as your status today. Just a thought.
That's a good idea.
I love it.